Hey guys, Jared Beckwith here. So if you're not familiar with vasospasms, most people aren't. Essentially, the person is going to have a brain hemorrhage. Blood vessel pops in the brain, hemorrhage, pop. Blood is going to be sitting on top of the brain from the pop blood vessel. And when you have that blood sitting on top of the brain, if there's enough of it, it's going to irritate the surrounding blood vessels. And then about 5 to 7 days later, after they had that initial hemorrhage, the irritation from all the blood sitting on top of the brain can have the blood vessels right there constrict, and then they're not getting blood to their brain, probably gonna die because they already had a hemorrhage and now you're constricting the blood flow as well. But guys, what if we started to use EEGs, the electrodes on the brain, because every patient's hooked up to the heart monitors. Why wouldn't a vasospasm patient be hooked up to an EEG? And I guess the problem with this is, if they're gonna have it between 5 and 7 days on average after the hemorrhage, who's gonna be monitoring that data? Well, you could have EEG techs do it. Essentially, you'd be monitoring the trends of the brain data in real time, and when the patient has a vasospasm, you're gonna see an increase in delta activity on the EEG in the specific spot where the patient had the hemorrhage and the blood vessels are constricting. You're gonna see it start to be more suppressed. I think the EEG is the best way to do this because it's continuously monitoring. Now, it has to be a specific type of patient. When you do a CAT scan, when they initially get admitted to the hospital, you're gonna be able to see how much blood is sitting on top of the brain from the initial blood vessel popping. I found that if it's more than 1 millimeter in a study that I read, they're essentially positively gonna have a vasospasm. But if it's less than 1 millimeter, pooling in one area, if it kind of like spread out and it's not very much blood sitting on top of the brain, the blood vessels aren't really gonna get irritated and probably not gonna have a vasospasm. Now, we have to make sure we can detect these vasospasms as quickly as possible in order to prevent the permanent brain damage. A daily ultrasound or TCD is not gonna cut it, in my opinion, and that's the current standard of care. I think that it should be continuously monitored with EEG, but it creates a big burden of data to review. So with our software, we create 8,000 pages into 24 pages of data. You can see the trends of the amplitude of the brain data, how high are the waves, and you can also see trends of the frequency of the waves. So a quick little summary, when you're looking at the EEG trends, if you see delta activity and lower amplitude in the area where they had the hemorrhage, they're probably having a vasospasm, and you're going to want to have immediate neurosurgical intervention in order to save the patient's life. Because otherwise, the blood vessel constricts, they have a vasospasm, and they're either dead or, they're probably dead. So this is why this is very important. Guys, we can save more lives. So EEG is not just for epilepsy. I mean, people are worried about AI taking jobs and stuff, but these new innovations, like my software, Ion, it's creating more people that we can actually do EEGs on and treat them for different things. Not just epilepsy, which is the common one, the obvious one, but also for stroke. Thank you all for watching. I hope you liked this video. Make sure you hit the like button. If you want to try out my EEG software, go to my website, ioneeg.com. It's free. Try it out for now. I don't know how much longer it's going to be free, so check it out. Tell your friends, and I love you guys.